Happy Wednesday, or should I say happy hump day. You're watching the John McEntyre Show live. I'm John McEntyre, and today I'm going to get into the usual. I'm going to share some wallet wins. I'm going to give the question of the day, and then I actually have Andrea on with me today, and she's going to be helping me answer a question about Medicare that I had come in. And so let's get into the wallet wins. Um, well, before I get started, I hope everyone is doing well out there today. We were running a little bit behind today, so I don't want to rush things. Let me slow myself down here, and then we can get on with this. So, our first wallet win is uh, created a budget for the first time, and my first month, I found an extra $500 to help put towards debt repayment. That's a good wallet win. That's a very good wallet win. Anytime you find extra money, and that's what a budget usually does when people finally decide that they're going to give a budget or a spending plan a chance, they end up finding extra money because they start tracking, they put the tracking along with the budgeting, and they find extra money. And now we're motivated to even do more. So, wallet win number two, just made the last car payment. That's always a good one. As you hear these wallet wins from people that they're sharing, sometimes you will hear them the same ones over and over again, which is a good thing. That means people are paying off their cars. They're serious about paying off debt. They're serious about creating budgets. And they're doing, taking care of the other areas of finance. And so you're going to hear these over, and we're going to celebrate this person. If every day we hear the same ones, we're going to celebrate them. And so that one made the last car payment and just opened up my child's college saving account. That's always good. Pre-planning. We know how, like I've said before, we know how expensive it is for college, for to send kids. Let alone more than one child. You have to set up college plans for more than one. Yes, that can get seriously expensive. And so I'm celebrating this person sharing that they've started their child's college savings account. And so, with the college savings account, there are some different types. You have the 529 and Coverdale. So research the one for you because they're also state specific, and you don't have to exactly use the one in your state. We know we have plenty of clients who live in one state and they have their college plan in another state. Uh, so just research it. Just go to college planning. One of my best one, and I'm not being paid by this company, but it is a great resource. Collegesavings.com, collegesavings.com, also collegeplanning.com. Two good resources for college planning to actually do your college savings plans and to find out more information. And so, three good wallet wins for today. All right. So our question of the day. I said I was going to cover our question of the day, and um, if I can actually remember the question of the day, um, question of the day, not the question, actual question of the day. Um, okay, we're having a few more technical difficulties here. I'm going to make sure and get those straightened out. Um, but the question of the day, oh, do you still use cash? That's the question of the day. Do you still use cash? Um, a lot of people, myself included, we don't. I use a card, and I started when I moved from a small town to Charlotte, which was a much larger city. One of the first things people told me was like, "Don't walk around with a lot of cash." And it's number one, it's just not safe to do that, just in case something happens. And number two, we're moving to, you know, the society is moving towards being cashless anyway. So you're using a card. So just get in the habit of using a card. And so me myself personally, I don't have I don't carry a lot of cash, and I rarely have it. And if I do have, have cash, it doesn't last long because if Bella sees it, if my daughter sees it, if she sees it, she seizes it. So sees it, she sees it, she takes it, she seizes it. So I just basically don't use cash unless it's something very small. So that is the question of the day. Do you use cash? All right. So now let's get into our question. Our actual question that came in was from someone who's aging into Medicare. And the question is, I will be turning 65 soon, and I wanted to know what should I know first about Medicare. And this comes from a confused boomer. And so with that, I have Andrea McEntyre. She's joining me to discuss to help answer this question on what should I do before I enroll into Medicare. So without further delay, here's Andrea. And so Andrea, how are you today?
I'm doing well, John. Thanks for having me.
Yep. So let's cover this. Let's talk about this today. What should one do? They're 65, and person turning 65, they have a lot of decisions to make. They're getting close to retirement, and then they have to enroll into Medicare. Um, but so, what should one do before enrolling into Medicare?
Well, there's three things that someone should do before they turn 65. The first thing is you want to do some research. So you want to know when you can enroll. And that enrollment period, it is generally 3 months before you turn 65 and 3 months after you turn 65. So it's roughly a 7 month window. So 3 months before you turn 65, and then 3 months after you turn 65. And
So 3 months, 3 months before your birthday month, and then 3 months afterwards. That's what you're saying. So that's the
that is
7 month
exactly
period.
what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
So you've got 3 months before, the month you turn 65, and then 3 months after. So that's where you get 7 total
Okay.
months.
Okay. Okay.
So, with knowing the window of time that you have, you certainly want to make sure that you do some research. So, the
Yeah.
first thing is if you're
Well,
already
before we
collecting,
move, okay,
yes.
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
So, if you're there's a couple of factors to think about. So, one, if you're already collecting Social Security income benefits, at least 4 months before you turn 65, you'll automatically be enrolled in Medicare A and B. If you're not already collecting Social Security income benefits, then there are three ways for you to enroll. And the first one is online, John, and that's the easiest way. The computer system has it where it's very user friendly, maps out the steps for you to enroll online. Your next option would be to call your Social Security office. And the third is to visit the office in person. I will say with option two and three, calling or visiting, be prepared for potential wait.
All right, as usual. Yeah. Is I tell people when you're calling these offices, just treat it like you're calling to the doctor's office or to the hospital or something. Just be prepared to wait.
Absolutely. I highly recommend that you set aside, if you're calling, roughly 30 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes. And if you're going in person, then you certainly want to try to see if you can schedule an appointment or be safe and double the amount of time that you would think you would spend on the phone. So instead of 30 minutes to an hour, think about 1 to 2 hours. And if you're less than 2 hours, then you've won.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the easiest one to do is definitely online. So you're pretty much doing your research online anyway. Most people today they are doing their research online or some form of technology. And so just make it
Absolutely.
easy. Just make it easy on yourself to just do it online. from the comforts of your
Right.
home.
And you can also receive some assistance. If you're having a little bit of trouble, then you can take your time and pace it and you can get some help. John, I mentioned that there were 3 steps. So we've talked about the first one, which is enrolling and what's the time frames and the ways that you can enroll if you're not already receiving Social Security income benefits.
Hmm.
The main thing to also know going into this, which is why I started with do your homework, do your research, is you need to understand the difference between Medicare supplement versus Medicare Advantage. And when if we start with Medicare supplement, so Medicare supplement, it works with your original Medicare, which is Part A and B. And within the Medicare supplement, it will pay deductibles, co-pays, co-insurance that Medicare does not cover. You're able to choose your doctors, hospitals, and usually pay little to nothing out of pocket. Now, it does, I want to caveat this, it does have a premium. So there's a monthly premium that you'll have to pay, and you'll purchase your, and you may have to pay, purchase your own prescription drug plan as well.
Okay, so that's basically when we say prescription drug plan, um, the actual supplement is just the word Medicare supplement. It works with Medicare. And just like Medicare, Medicare itself does not come with a drug plan. You actually, when you're enrolled into Medicare, you have to enroll into a drug plan, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have your Medicare A, your Medicare B, and then if you will need to have some type of drug plan, and that's where you could get it through a type of Medicare supplement.
Right. Well, you don't get it through a Medicare supplement. That's a freestanding. Um,
Yes, you'll get
the
it
drug
when you
plan is
get your
actually
Medicare
freestanding.
supplement.
Right.
You're absolutely correct.
So yeah.
So
So
it's
when people are enrolled into Medicare, um, if you don't choose your own, I wanted to say this because this is the part of working with people. If you don't choose your own drug plan, they'll enroll you into one, and it's usually the one like the most popular one. That's what usually would happen. You would just be enrolled into one because Medicare does not pay for prescription drugs. That's a freestanding drug plan.
You are absolutely correct, John. I'm glad you pointed that out because a lot of people will confuse. There are a lot of options, and some of them have inclusive benefits and some do not. That's why it's important, as we said at the beginning, to do your homework and some of the ways that you can do your homework. We'll talk about those, but it begins with just understanding what's covered and what's not covered. So I've mentioned that we want to make sure we know the difference between Medicare supplement and the Medicare Advantage, or often called Part C. So I've covered Medicare supplement.
Hmm.
Now let's talk about Medicare Advantage, or Part C.
Okay.
So Medicare Advantage, the Part C, it's not a part of the original Medicare.
Hmm.
Um, they are a replacement plan offered by private insurance companies.
Okay.
So if you go with a Medicare Advantage plan, this is, remember again, it is replacing, it's a Medicare replacement plan offered through a private insurance company and not through the government. I want to bring out a couple of things that are, some things to be aware of. So usually it's low cost, and most of them do have a prescription drug plan included within them. You'll usually have to stay with in-network doctors and hospitals, and you may have to pay some out-of-pocket expenses such as deductibles, copay, or coinsurance.
Okay.
Now, the part that is very important to pay attention when you initially enroll and every year is these are regional. So they're based on your zip codes, and it's every year the contract is renewed. So
Okay. Oh.
you want to make sure that you pay attention to see if your doctors and your hospitals are still within your same network, because that could change from year to year. John, did you have a point?
Right. I wanted to say there was a couple of things. Number one, Medicare Advantage. Most people they hear HMO, PPO, private fee for service. That's when you're talking about an Advantage plan. Um,
Absolutely.
so I just wanted to clarify that part, and also really stress because a lot of times people will, um, call or we're talking and they say, my friend has this particular plan, and I wanted to see about enrolling into it. Well, the first thing you have to know is that plan offered in your zip code? Because if your friend lives in a different zip code, it may not be offered in your zip code. Um, it used to be in some states. I mean, right across the street or the neighborhood next door, plans change. And some, especially these big retirement states with a lot of retirees, there are a lot of plans in the area because that's how plans are built. The companies are responding to the region, and so they may say this zip code has a lot of people that would need this type of care or something special, so that plan may be only made for that particular zip code, so you have to take those types of things into an account. I just wanted to really stress that part because we do get that quite a bit of I want to do this plan, and you have to see if it's actually available in your zip code. You go ahead,
Absolutely.
Andrea.
I'm glad that you brought that up, um, because we're all about relationships and making sure that we're getting referrals. And so when we get those referrals, we also want to double check to make sure, as you pointed that out.
Right.
So if we're talking about, I mentioned that these are regional by your zip codes, and they are on annual contract. So every year it will be a little bit different. Now, the last point that I will mention is that we want to make sure we go back to the beginning, which is to do your research, shop around for options. And one particular resource that is fantastic is read your Medicare and You guidebook and talk to an independent Medicare broker. It's free and it's no cost to you.
That is a you know a serious resource that most people don't know. Well, it's not that they don't know it, they receive it, and most of the time it goes on the shelf somewhere or whatever. Well, because I've seen quite a few times, going into houses, I've seen the Medicare and You guide, under a stack of papers, and they're pretty good about getting those out. You can request them. If you lose yours, you can request it, and so make sure you read that Medicare and You guide. And you were saying that if you have any questions, someone could talk to someone like yourself. Um, why would they talk to you and not call directly to the company? I apologize for that. We actually had another technical difficulty here, so I'll finish it out. Um, Andrea actually, we lost Andrea here, um, so we're going to finish this out. You can talk to an independent broker because of the word independent. A person they don't have a let me get everything together here. When you call directly to a company, a carrier, we call them carriers. The only products they're going to talk about are the products that they offer. When you talk to an independent broker, they have access to other options and plans that are available in your area. So it's not that the other company won't give you good information. They will only give you information about what they offer. When you're talking to an independent broker like Andrea, like here, then you're going to be shown other options. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, going to talk to you and ask you a lot of questions to get a feel for what would be the best plan for you. And that means Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement. They have to know which one will be right for you. So that's why you would want to talk to an independent agent. So if you have any questions about the plans or prices in your area, you can call or shoot an email, contact us, and we'll direct you in the right direction. Um, and that's all we have for today. Hopefully we answered the question. Apologize for the technical difficulty. Hopefully we clarified everything for you. And if you need to talk to us about your Medicare options or any other options in your financial picture, then don't hesitate to contact us. So on behalf, I want to thank Andrea for being on with me. And so tune in tomorrow, same time, same channel, Facebook Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. You can also, contact us, go to the website. Well, if you have a question, share those wallet wins, share your comments, your questions, keep them coming. I appreciate everyone viewing, and I appreciate you as the audience because that's why we're here. So, this is John McEntyre signing off.